Hey, it is day 5, the last day in the Simple Machines unit. We've finished all the Simple Machines. We've learned about the wedge and what it does, the lever, what it does, the pulley, the inclined plane, the screw, and the wheel and axle. All 6 Simple Machines. Now, day 5, the last day, is all about what happens when those simple machines are combined to make better, more useful machines. So we're going to be in section 1, and we're going to use page 8 in our notebook packet. I'm going to go through page 8. We're going to learn about what these things are called when simple machines are added together. We're going to learn some examples of them, how they are used, which ones we use in our lives, and then we're going to finish up our unit, okay? Y'all have had a great week. Thank you so much for staying strong with me. It's been really, really tough for all of us. I know it, but we got to do what we got to do, okay? That's what we do here in Moss Knuckles, and that's definitely what we do in our classroom. So head to your last and final day 5, section 1, vocabulary. And I'm going to make this bigger, and we're going to get started. So we've got, that's from yesterday. So we've got these things called compound machines. And again, you're on section 1. And I'm going to read this to you. We're going to learn about what this word compound machines is. And we're going to learn some examples of it. So I'm going to read it to you. Compound machines are also machines that make work blank. Also means we've already learned about something that makes work blank. Those were called simple machines. Simple machines are machines, if you remember, they make work easier. Well, so do compound machines. As a matter of fact, all machines are created to make work easier. Now listen to this part. Compound machines are made up of blank or more simple machines. So that means we are adding together simple machines to make a compound machine. How many do you think we have to have? In order to have a compound machine, we have to have 2 or more simple machines. For example, take a look at this example. Scissors are made up of wedges, levers, and a screw. That's 3 simple machines. So scissors are actually compound machines. Now here's your challenge. Look at these arrows. Look at what they're pointing to. Okay. I want you to take a guess as to which arrow is pointing to which simple machine. I already told you that scissors have wedges, levers, and screws. I want you to decide which one's the lever, which one's the screw, which one's the wedge. Let's take a look. Look at where you put your thumbs, up at the handle. Remember, there's a simple machine that helps you make things longer so that it is easier to move them. Okay, that simple machine is called a lever. So scissors are made up of levers where you hold one part of it and it makes it longer. It creates leverage to make something easier to move. So by being longer, these scissors are easier to move back and forth. Take a look at that middle arrow. That's a screw. What does a screw do? It holds things together. That screw is holding these 2 levers together. And lastly, what simple machine has a very sharp point that is used to split things apart? You guessed it, it's a wedge. And attached to each lever on a pair of scissors, there is a wedge. Take a look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Everything we've learned this week, we've now combined it all together, and we've learned about something new called a compound machine. If you can't tell, I'm excited. I am. Let's move on to section 2. We're going to use page 9 in our notebook packet to fill in the missing info. Number 1 says this. What are the simple machines found on a pizza cutter? Well, I'm going to show you the next page. I'm going to show you a pizza cutter. Now, they're already labeled here, but we're going to talk about it. Remember, a lever is used to make something longer so it is easier to move or turn or whatever it's doing to an object. Most anything that has a handle on it is a lever. So that's one simple machine. The second one, take a look, is that big round wheel that spins around a rod. What do we call that? A wheel and axle. But that's not all, because on the very edge of that wheel is a very sharp point. And whenever something is made into a sharp point, usually it's used to split something or cut something or divide something into pieces. And that is a wedge. So you can write those, you can pick two of those things to write down on number 1 next to what are the simple machines found on a pizza cutter. You can write all three if you'd like. I only gave you 2 lines. Let's move on to number 2. This is on the next page. Number 2 says, what are the simple machines found on a shovel? You should be able to get this one because we've talked about it at least 3 times throughout this week. We learned about a shovel once when we were learning about a lever. We were also talking about how a shovel also has something to help it pierce into the ground, and that is a sharp edge at the bottom of it. So what 2 simple machines do you think make up a shovel? Let's check. We've got a lever, a longer handle that makes it easier to lift something instead of having to bend over and pick it up. And on the bottom is a wedge to help you dig and pierce into whatever you're trying to lift up. All right, last one, number 3. What are the simple machines found on a bicycle? Look at those arrows and make your predictions. What do those look like, and what is helping make work easier? So let's look at the top one first. We're looking at the handlebars. Now, what do handlebars do? Handlebars help you hold on to it and help you turn it to either follow the path or avoid something that is in your path. It helps you turn the wheel easier. Now, a simple machine that helps you turn that usually has a handle is called a lever. And a bicycle handle is actually a lever because it makes it longer and easier to move and turn. Let's look at the one on the bottom there, the one with the pedals on it. Okay, what do you do with these pedals? Well, your feet spin it around and around and around and around, but that wheel, that thing you're turning around and around and around, is connected to a chain. What does that remind you of? Something that looks like a wheel that has a rope or a chain wrapped around it and keeps on moving and moving. That is a pulley. Last one is pointed to that front wheel, that front tire. Hopefully this one should be the easiest one. That, my friends, is a wheel and axle. We've got the wheel spinning around the axle. So you can write those 3 things down, those 3 simple machines down on your 3 lines for number 3. And I'm going to move on and explain section 3 to y'all. Okay, to finish this unit up, excuse me, we're going to move on to section 3, and we're going to wrap things up here. The first thing we're going to do is do a page called the right tool for the job. And one of the main objectives that I am in charge of teaching you during this unit is not only what these simple machines are, but how they work and how you can use them in your real life to make work easier for you. So we're going to go to this page. I want you to find this page. It's called the right tool for the job. And what we're going to do for every single one is we're going to circle the tool that will be most helpful for the job. Then we're going to write the name of what this simple machine is. We're going to write either, is it a lever, is it a pulley, a screw, a wedge, a wheel and axle. Oops, I wrote wedge twice. That's not okay. I need you to change that for me. On your page, what I want you to do is we're going to cross out one of the wedges, doesn't matter which one, and we're going to replace that with inclined plane. I'm glad I caught that. I'm sorry that I misprinted that on all of yours. So we're going to label it one of the 6 simple machines. Let's take a look at the first one here. Kevin, we're looking at this one right here. Kevin needs to raise the flag on the flagpole. What will help him? Remember back to when we learned about the flagpole and what helps us pull down on one end to raise up the other end. Is this going to help him or is this going to help him? Circle which one's going to help him the best and then write the name of that simple machine right here. Hopefully you came up with pulley. The pulley's going to help him lift that flag up to the top. So you're going to circle this picture of the pulley and you're going to write pulley right here. Here's what I want you to do. Do number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 by yourself. Click pause while you're doing it. Click play when you're ready to talk about the answers. All right, good luck. Work hard. Use your notebook packet and your vocabulary words if you need help with anything. Okay, you're back. Let's talk about these answers. Number 2, Annie needs to get her cat out of the tree. What's going to help her? Well, either the ladder's going to help her or the screw's going to help her. How are you going to get up to that cat? You're going to use a ladder. Now, here's the trick. What simple machine is that? That's an inclined plane. It's a ramp that helps you get from a lower position to a higher position. Number 3, Kevin needs to carry new sand to his sandbox. What's going to help him? Well, is a pulley going to help him or is this wagon going to help him? In my opinion, the wagon's going to help him. He's going to put the sand in the wagon and then he's going to move it. Now, what simple machine is being used? Okay, a wagon is not a simple machine. The wagon will help him, but that's not the simple machine in the wagon. What simple machine in this wagon is helping move the sand? You're not going to drag this over to your sandbox without the wheels on it, right? So the wheel and axle is the simple machine that helps you actually move this sand. Hopefully you came up with that. If not, change your answer. Number 4, Ani needs to hang a mirror on her bedroom wall. What will help her? A knife or a screw? Screws help hold things together. Hopefully that will help hold her mirror onto her wall. The simple machine is a screw. Number 5, Kevin needs to cut up the strawberries for lunch. What will help him? A knife or a wagon? Well, the wagon might help him get the strawberries from the patch to the house, but the knife is going to help him cut them up. Now, a knife isn't a simple machine. What is the simple machine that's helping him do this? Cut through something. That's a wedge. Number 6, Ani needs to lift and roll a large stone out of the way. What will help her? Will a ladder help her roll this stone out of the way off to the side of the path? Or will this lever help her, this crowbar help her? I think the crowbar would. And check out what she can do. She can use a smaller stone to act as a fulcrum. Remember, the fulcrum is the part that the stiff rod moves around. The crowbar is the stiff rod here. And if you jam that crowbar underneath that rock, put the smaller rock underneath it, and push down right here, guess what? This side's going to go up, and it's going to roll that stone out of the way. You might have to do it a couple times, but it's going to work. It's going to be the best simple machine for the job. So there you go. Let's head back to our packet to find out the last thing we're going to do. And that is our simple machine sort. You can do this today. You can do it whenever you want. You don't have to do it today. I know today we've done a lot of work. But this is the last thing you're going to be doing. Okay? And it's kind of the grand finale of simple machines. You have a picture or a page of pictures. All of these pictures are examples of simple machines that we have talked about. Okay? Your job is to cut them out and glue them under the correct heading. If it's a lever, you're going to glue it in one of these boxes. There's 3. If it's an inclined plane, you're going to glue it in one of these boxes. There's 3. Wedge, wheel and axle, screw, pulley. There's 3 of each. The top box up here is for you to just write what is a lever used for. What does it help you do? Okay, if you want to just write move something or make something longer, that's fine. If you want to just write a ramp, okay, words that help you remember what they are used to do. Okay, that's your last thing. Work hard on it. I'm going to make an example so that you can check over your answers. And I want you to be proud of yourselves this week. Okay, you learned a lot. Usually we take about 2 weeks to learn something like this. You guys have done it in 1. I'm very proud of you, and I want you to keep up the great work in everything you do. Don't stop here. Keep going. Every moment matters in your life, and every moment you take advantage of is a step in the right direction. So keep it up. Keep working hard. Keep being proud of yourself, but stay humble and always help others too. All right, I will see you next time. Peace.